Hello everybody, it's Monkeypuzzle. It's time for Monkey-Wrenching the Beast, number 58. Can't believe I've done that many. More than I've done of any of the series is on this channel. And I think as of the last video, there were 111 videos. And we have 338 subscribers. Just amazing. Closing in on 45,000 views. Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, last video on Monkey-Wrenching the Beast, Nilo Rio and I, we just kind of goofed around in the Twilight Forest, went around in our quantum armor, just kind of demolishing mobs and boss mobs and getting all kinds of fun stuff there. I'm going to try to do something a little bit more productive this time. I mean, that was productive too, but a little bit more technically productive, I guess. We're going to try to make a power source independent of the lava of the Nether, which has been mostly fueling us besides the lava underneath us. Yeah, that's been the most of it. We have a little bit of solar power going too, but try not to do too much of that because it also feels pretty free. I mean, you know, you have to work for all the materials to do that, and there'll definitely be much more solar. Let me turn the volume down here for a second. These skeletons and their associated Mistcraft portal that transports them into there from here can be very noisy. Anyway, the oak tree farm has been working really well with our little foresting turtle in here somewhere. You saw him a second ago, planting and bone mealing trees. It's just working really well, and the logger is pulling them out. It looked like those logs were glitching out, but actually they're just disappearing because of the loggers that harvest them immediately. So, and this guy's been using that bone meal, not very fast, but keeping it from building up as fast as it was up there. We have that being automatically filled with the red power pneumatic tubing and the filter and all that jazz that I showed you before. Anyway, the products from it are just stacking up. I mean, look, there's 1,024 logs, stacks of logs here. Oops. Here, 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 and here. I'm about to need another extra dimensional barrel. The sapling's not quite so fast, but still a very respectable amount of them. Plus what's in this chest here that the clay golems are so nicely pulling out of. They keep these full. So it's time to put this stuff to use. There's definitely way more wood than we need just for crafting stuff. So over here we've got the potential for biofuel. And over here, we've got the potential for charcoal. So this could be EU. This is what you call it, IndustrialCraft power, and this is BuildCraft power. Although we could run steam off the biofuel, which can give us MJs or EUs. So I've got a bunch of stuff to show you too with the progress from the bees from last time, but I'm not going to get into that this time, just in the interest of keeping this this episode from getting too long, which seems to happen to all my episodes. I mean, I don't think it's too long, but by YouTube standards, yeah, 40 minutes is pretty long. Actually, the last one, last B one, was more than an hour, which is just what it took me to get through the material. So that's what it was. But let's see if I can get up through here. Yeah, I can. I've been placing those landmarks around just so I know where this is. So I think this is going to work for me right here. I think this is where the tree farm ends, right here, and this is the hallway, and this is the corner. So I think this space here, directly underneath all this stuff. Can I get back down through here? Try again. Yes. This corner is going to be where we do our power plant. And it's a pretty good spot. Over here, just down that hallway, is the glacier warehouse, just at where you see that little blue light right there. So the power and the power products that created here, whether biomass, biofuel, steam, or the power itself, will all be able to be used that way and that way. And we can always find ways to tesseract and nether chest it everywhere else. So first thing I'm going to do is get Yertle out. Good old Yertle. And Yertle is going to clear this area for us. So probably start him about here. And we're going to tell him to excavate. I believe it's 24. Let's see how he does with that. And I'll need to get a chest right here. Let me see. I got this. My original medium stone is finally about to run out. It's pretty amazing. It's lasted a long time. So let's make 2 of them. Get some wood, and we'll make a little chest. So as he mines out, we can put all the product. He'll put all the products here and keep going. Otherwise, he'll get clogged and stop. So I guess we'll just go ahead and put that right there. And then in the meantime, I'm going to need to go ahead and kind of mob-proof this area, because as he mines down, he's going to create all these dark areas over here from which creepers and such can make their way into our nice safe base, and that would not be good. So I'm going to work on that, and when all this is done, just emptying out this space, I'll get back to you and we'll actually work on it. A lot of this stuff I haven't done yet, so this is going to be new material for me as far as doing the fermenters and the distillers, and we're going to tank that all up and make a steam boiler probably, and also have to figure out a way to automatically make charcoal and send that into generators. So yeah, and then I also got to figure out how to transport EU everywhere else. That's the tricky part. There's definitely ways to do it with MJ, with the energy tesseracts and such, but EU, it's not so easy. I'm not sure if I'm going to use nether chests to move lapatrons around, or if I'm just going to send it as steam and have steam turbines in place on the sites that I want EU to be sent. Although that doesn't make nearly as much sense. I will figure it out. But that's going to be part of this. I don't know how much of all that we're going to get to in this episode.
Just my strategy. Just my strategy. My strategies now. So bro, just 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 my strategies now. Your stomach's stronger, but I shine like the gold rush. Shall be touched. I'm safest win every battle. Tough destruction. I don't. But I
Okay, so I went ahead and did that. We got this 24 by 24 hole. It goes down about 2 levels below. Well, 3 levels below where the tree farm is. That's the surface of the tree farm. I thought if we took it down to here, we'd also be able to see into the bottom layer of the piping. And the next thing I need to do is, so we're going to be using these materials here to create biomass, biofuel, and charcoal. Oh, and apple juice too for the fermenters. So there's going to need to be fermenters and stills, and those are going to need to go somewhere. So we're going to need tanks. Best place I can think of for tanks right now is probably over here on this wall. So I've got Yertle and Misdemeanor ready to go. Turns out this 24 by 24 size is actually going to be pretty good. I just made it this size because that's the space I had without the turtle chopping into this piping here. But it turns out that the maximum Zycraft tank size is 12 by 12 externally. Alright, so I got that space all emptied out. I've got the landmark set for one of the Zycraft tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and put the sides back together. I'm going to go ahead and use a filler for this. I'll grab my landmarks in a second. And I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to use straight stone. Yeah, just make it look like it's just part of the wall. But this was just to make sure that it's all stone and no other unallowed blocks in there. So we take the brick, go around. You guys have seen me do this before. So that's just going to build a nice box. And we're going to go ahead and put down a redstone energy cell and go ahead, give it max output, and watch this thing put itself together quicker than I could ever do it. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and hollow out this part, the whole front face, and we're going to fill this with glass viewer blocks. I don't remember if I showed you before or not, but the glass viewers are made like that. So, okay, plenty of glass viewers. We're going to need actually 100 twice. So that's actually not quite enough, but I'll make some more off camera. And the other thing I'm going to need is first some light engineering brick or any kind of engineering brick. Go ahead and make a stack of that because we'll use it for all kinds of stuff. And then to make the valves for the tanks, this is actually what creates the tanks as well. It's just like that. I'm going to need at least 4, so in my usual style, I'm going to make 8. The neat thing about these glass viewer blocks, which you probably already know, is that they combine their textures. So however many you put together, the border goes around the outside of them. And I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to pipe in and out of these yet. I will find that out when I need to do it. But just for demonstration purposes, let's put the valve right there. Right click it, and kablooey. We've got the biggest possible Zycraft tank. Yeah, and I'm going to do the same thing again over there, and then we'll be ready for the next part. Okay, so to fill those tanks with biomass and then biofuel, we're going to need to make a few things, and they're all forestry things for the most part, so they're all going to take sturdy casings. So I went ahead and made 24 of these for now. Um, we'll probably need more later, but so one of the first things we're going to need are, let's see, we're going to need fermenters. Fermenters are going to turn the saplings into the biomass. Fermenters are made like that. And apparently one fermenter is then going to need 5 stills, I think, to keep up with it. And stills are made like that. I'm going to make a bunch of gears because I'm probably going to need more later. We're also going to make an engine that uses gears as well. So let's go ahead and make a stack of wood gears, and then let's turn all of those, into stone gears, azo, and then we're going to turn these into, let's do 32 bronze gears for now, which will be enough for today. I'll probably actually end up making more later. Um, so let me see, what was I doing? The fermenter looks like that. Let me put that together. We want to go like that. Um, I'm going to start with two of them for this episode. I'm probably going to end up making more. I'll probably have at least four, but we got two fermenters right there. So from the research I've done, I want to start by making at least 5 stills for these two fermenters. So these will make the biomass, and then the stills will turn that biomass into biofuel, which is much more effective. So that's the recipe for those. Wait, what happened? No, we want that. Why is it not doing it? We need to get this out of here. Oh, it is in there. Okay. Uh, so go ahead and set that up. So I'm going to need at least 10 of these right now. So let's go ahead and see if I can make 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And then to make the fermenter more efficient, we're going to need to run apple juice in it. And the apple juice is going to need to be made by a squeezer. So there's the squeezer right there. So that recipe looks like that. We've made squeezers before. Here's some tin. Let's start with a couple squeezers. Oh, I only got one. What am I missing? Got the casing. Oh, I didn't put the tin in there. That's what I did wrong. Okay, and there we go. Okay, we can make another one. And then the squeezers are going to need power. And we might as well use what we're producing. So there's a biogas engine that actually runs on biomass. So I think it might run on biofuel as well. I'm not sure. I've never used all this stuff for this purpose. So I believe this was bronze, and that's that. So yeah, and I need to get some more bronze. And there's the bronze. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna need. I think they use 5, or they produce 5 mJ when they're run with biomass. I don't know how much power the squeezer can take. I'm gonna start with I don't know, maybe 8 of them for now, and I'll leave that recipe set up in case I need more. So let me go and start putting this together. So first I need to get access to these barrels, and to pull items out of them I'm going to need to be able to get access from underneath. Right now I have it set up in a way that that's really not very convenient. I could just put more barrels right over here and have them come down. I want them to be at least one high off the ground because I'm going to need to get under them, and I want to have access to that. But rather than making new barrels, I wonder if I can just move them with the portal gun. I'm going to experiment with wood first because I have the most of this and I can spare it. Okay, that's looking like something else. What block is that? I'm not sure, but that's pretty weird. So the wood would be over there. Did that work? I think it did. I've just got the that on the wrong side. I wonder, can I do this? Is it possible to turn it around, or is it going to maintain its orientation? Get over there. Can I? Up. It's going to maintain its orientation no matter what. But the good news is that it didn't lose its contents. So that's good. But I'm so fussy that I'm definitely going to want Oops, it went down. I'm definitely going to want these facing outwards, so I guess I'm going to have to make new barrels after all. I realized I'm still going to need to drain these of their contents, so I might as well just take these and put them down here, and then when their inventory gets low enough, I can break them and turn them around, even though it's going to bug me for now. Oh, and by the way, I didn't turn these into tanks right away, and I think once they're tanks, mobs probably won't spawn in them. But for the moment, I've got a little zoo. I'm going to finish moving the barrels, and then I'll meet you after that. Okay, it's going to take me a little bit to get this together. It's going to take doing it to basically figure out how it goes. But for now, we've got the saplings in here. And I still have to, I've changed the order of things here. I've got saplings, apples, and logs. I just put all the vanilla products together, and then we'll put the rubber tree stuff down there. I'll change the diamond pipes later, but for now, let's go ahead and let's put a one fermenter here and another one here. And then each of these is going to get a dedicated squeezer to keep it full of apple juice. So we're going to put that there, and actually I'm going to turn it around. Oh, you can see the interface on both sides, I think, so that should be fine. And then I'll put the other one here. So we're going to need to put a wooden pipe there and a sandstone pipe here. Stuff's going to go in from the top, and same with these. I believe that's going to work. So let me go get the sandstone pipes, and yeah, I'm going to need some gates on this too, so let me get that stuff together. So to do this, I've learned that I'm going to need some iron gates at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and make some redstone iron chipsets. The redstone iron chipsets with some pipe wire give me the ability to make an iron ore gate. And then I'm going to make some more pulsating chipsets by putting some ender pearls in here. And then some of those iron ore gates uh, in here with the redstone iron chipset and the pulsating chipset, I can now make an autarkic iron ore gate. And I'll show you how I'm going to use those in a second. Okay, time to see if this works. And if it does, we're going to pretty much conclude this episode. So let's put the wooden pipe there. And then we need some sandstone pipe, and the reason for this is so it won't connect to these two inventories as it goes up. And then over here, let me see, we've got two different kinds of iron gates now. We've got the autarkic iron ore and the iron ore. So we want to put an iron ore here and the autarkic over here. Now the reason I made them iron is because iron gates have the ability to communicate with redstone pipe wire, which means I don't have to have a separate line going on of the red alloy wire to send a signal from here to here. And what I want to do is set this one let me see, I was looking through what the options were, and I think I want this one. If the resources are less than 10%, resources being the place where the saplings go, or less than 25% actually. Yeah, I guess it's less than or equal to, because if we fill this all the way full of the saplings, it is off, right? And we want it to send a red pipe signal. So if it is 25% or less, it is now sending a red pipe signal over to here. And then if we're going to tell this one when it gets a red pipe signal to do an energy pulse, and we'll see if that gives us saplings and how many. So this is the test here to see if that's going to be too much. We might need to set this at less than 10% because we don't want it to overfill. So now it's shut off, and Part of also what I'm doing here is I'm expecting that this is going to fill this one as well, because these all have a 50-50 chance. So that gets to distribute the items somewhat as well, and I don't need to put a gate on this one. So that got up to 33, and that got up to 16. So that's enough to keep saplings in there. Uh, yeah, so let's try for now to see if that works. And if I had a longer space here, they'd get even more saplings in them. So that's the first part, is getting the saplings in these. The next part is getting the apple juice in. So I'm going to set these up exactly like I set that. So that means a wood pipe, sandstone, and then the autarkic iron ore gate, the iron ore gate, and then the pipe wire. So we want to just go ahead and send that all the way. It's showing up on the other side. So, and then this one, have to figure out what to tell it if the inventory is empty, if there's space in the inventory. We could do that. Inventory full, tank empty, space for liquid, has work. I think we're going to tell it if there is space in inventory, and hopefully that's going to work out. Let's see. Oh, and this is not going to work without power either, so that would be the last bit. So red pipe signal, energy pulse. And why did this turn off? Oh, red pipe signal. There we go. Okay, and I'll see how many apples this gives, and is that going to work? What the problem is, we don't want it to overflow. We could do it when the inventory is empty. If this overflows, that would be our other option. So give it a moment. I'm going to cut to the chase. It's going to take a while for it to fill up, but I realize that space in the inventory is not going to work because it's not going to shut off until this is full, and there'll still be some apples coming. So unless I put in a return loop, I should just change this to inventory empty, I think. And then every time it's empty, it'll send apples again. So yeah. It's funny, it's still saying inventory empty, which is interesting because it's not empty. Maybe if any of these are empty, then it still counts as empty. I'll find out. And while that's happening, we're going to need some power on these for that to work. And to get some power, we're going to need some biofuel, or actually biomass. So for this to work, it's going to need something in here. It's either going to need fertilizer or compost or mulch. Eventually we'll figure out how to make compost or mulch. For now, I'm just going to make some fertilizer. Fertilizer looks like this. Let me get some stuff out of my inventory so I can get all this sand. Let's see. I believe the recipe was like that. No? Ah, there, it was like that. Okay, so we got some fertilizer. We're gonna have to put some of that back, but let me go ahead, put the fertilizer in there, and I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to get it going yet. I think there has to be some sort of liquid in here first, so we're going to need to get some apple juice before it starts, perhaps. I think water would also work. This is the part where my inexperience is coming into play. I'm going to figure it out. So apple juice is way more efficient, but to start with, I think we can start it with water. I know they work with water. As far as I know, though, I didn't think these needed power. Maybe they do. Restricted pipe access. No, that's not it. Okay, I'm going to figure out what else I need to get this going. Okay, this is getting pretty close to starting to fill this slot, and we're going to see if this red pipe wire turns off. It doesn't. That's bad. Okay, what do we need for this to turn off? Because the inventory is definitely not empty. We're going to start to get an overflow here pretty soon. Uh, when does it turn off? I'm just going to turn it off manually right now until I figure out how to do this. Well, didn't quite figure out exactly what signal to put on here, but we got enough apples in it for now to get going. Turns out both of these need power. I just looked that up. So I'm going to go ahead and put some redstone energy conduit under these. I got that right here. And hopefully they're facing the right direction under there. And we're going to go ahead and put those engines we made to use. See, I put some grass in here. Since this is all about life, I thought there might as well be some grass in here. But we'll play with that more later. So let's go ahead. I'm trying to finish this up and just get some biomass going into the tank there, because then I can end this episode, which I don't mind not ending it, but I just don't want it to get too long for y'all. All my episodes seem to run pretty long. Okay, I need to go get some lava. Oh, you know what? I was going to cheat to start with and start this with an energy tesseract just to get it going. I need to jumpstart the whole process. So let's go ahead and turn this on to the logger. That's fine. Power should be going in. Are we making biofuel? Not yet. That's going in. Oh, this is the wrong way. Okay, I need this to get that. And let's go ahead and send that out. Now, hopefully, alright, action. We're going to create some biomass. We got our first little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and hook that so it flows into these. Give me a second. Okay, got them hooked up with liquiducts going under all 8 engines. Gonna go ahead and start them. So we've got biomass going into the engines for the first time. In the meantime, these have run out of water, but these should have plenty of apple juice right now. So let's go ahead and run a line from, oops. Okay, try that again. Run a line from here into those. And I need to disconfigure these so they're coming out. Yep, and give them a signal. Alright. Now we've got apple juice flowing into this. Funny that it's the same color. Filling these up, that's excellent. And now these will keep producing biomass. And we've got this hooked up correct, that as soon as these get low on saplings, they're going to get refilled automatically. So now we just got to hook it up, figure out how to hook up the gates on the squeezers so that it works correctly for the apples. And once I figure that out, oh, we've got mulch as a byproduct. So we're going to be able to feed that directly into these as well, and we won't need the fertilizer. Okay. You know, I wonder now that it's got mulch in there if the inventory won't count as empty anymore. I'm going to try that out. So inventory empty is no longer a signal. Oh, okay, so that was just because that one was empty. Alright, well I'll figure out how that goes. Okay, I figured a bunch of stuff out. So for the fermenters, a gate on the top, this one, it responds to this inventory slot right here, whereas a gate on the side it registers this inventory slot right here. So I was just experimenting. This says if there's space in inventory, it gives a signal. There is some space for the mulch. It was pumping it out of here by sending a signal to this iron autarkic ore gate on this wooden pipe, pulling out of here. For the squeezer, a gate on the top right here that registers what is in this slot right here where the mulch appears, uh, whereas a gate on the side that corresponds to this inventory right here. So with that information, I'm going to be able to set this properly. In the meantime, this whole line is full of biomass, and this side is full of apple juice. Every one of these biogas engines is completely full of biomass. So as soon as I put a bucket of lava in each one of these, this thing will be independently powered. So I'm going to tweak on all that in between episodes and get all that working because this is going way too long. But we figured out the basics and we're producing biomass and we're just about there. The last thing I want to end with is just getting the last bit or starting to get biomass into the first of these Zycraft tanks. So there it is. The first little layer of biomass is going in here, and we should be able to fill this up. I don't know how long it's going to take, and if this setup is going to be enough to keep up with our tree farm over there. I will find out, but we've got this process started. Okay, everybody, this is Monkeypuzzle. Next time we come back, we're going to mess with this some more. I've also want to show you my progress on the bees. I'll probably take this one step further first, and then we'll go to the bees. We'll see, and I reserve the right to change my mind. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this. This is a big step, and it's about time we took it. So, anyway, there it is. See you next time. Bye bye.